Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Leroy, the artist formerly known as Problem Child, the poet rather formerly known as Problem Child. Barbershop in Crown Heights, doing this little thing from Go To Barber, and here it goes a little something like this. And May 4th at the Schoenberg, I'm going to be doing a wham against some poet, and this is how I get down with mine as a battle tip. Round trip car fare in the IRT, $4.50. Paying at the door to get into whatever venue the slam is being ran through, $5. Expenses, fees, and a real stiff drink for me, $10. Being able to say that you went head-to-head against this or that poet or MC and tore their ass out the frame, priceless. That's right, it's about time they came up with a way for us to find out who among us are the nicest and makes the other poets think about their sleeping night sweats like the last time they touched the mic behind me, they caught some sort of poetic virus. As soon as I saw the flyer, I knew I was going to try this. I'm Problem Child, a poetry slam pirate. I spit rhymes on stage from 60 gauge to hand grenades in. My black educational lessons drop like so. Let's get ready to rumble. I'm so glad to be here because I was beginning to get bored. At the last open mic I went to, I snored. So big up to the promoter for starting this, and big up to the other poets for having the heart for this, because it's not easy putting your reputation on the line, slamming against 5, 10, or 15, or 20 other poets at a time might be fine for those who just came to move the crowd. But I got this game to mow the opposition down and turn deaf poets into dead. As I step around this, I try nightly to become the next Kalam AC, and the only way I can do it is to get the best poets to face me. So let's get ready to rumble, because there's no more room for fear. As the crowd starts to cheer and the pretenders proceed to recede to the rear, knowing they're about to hear what just might be the best slam event of the year, as the lights on stage get bright and the rest of the room gets dim. And you might as well know from the door coming in that my idols in this game are Earl, 125, and Qasim, because all I ever see them do is win. So who am I? Who am I? Just call me Brother Harlem Child a la Junior. Coming to a venue near you sooner, not later, because between me and any poet, I'm curious to see who between the two of us are greater. Like Ayaba, spoken word Mandingo, sword warrior. Somebody's got to win. What do you think they're scoring for? And if perchance I fail to prevail when it's my turn on the mic, at least my reputation is going to get bigger tonight. So let's get ready to rumble as I try not to slip, trip, or stumble once I put on these metaphoric brass knuckles guaranteed to make you slip, trip, and buckle. Trying to make your knees buckle? Well, I see I'm just about out of time, so I'm going to pass the mic to the next poet in line and say to rumble. He loved the way I used to stumble through pieces when I was getting them straight. Now, some black education. At the signing of the Declaration of Independence, Patrick Henry shouted in our famous sentence, "Give me liberty or give me death." So you mean to tell me that they don't understand what we mean when we demand nothing less? And they portrayed to be amazed when our movement took a radical turn to the left when we demanded either restitution or 400 years of theft? We shall overcome. Well, some of the brothers got tired of that one, and we were ready to set it off long before someday, but something, one thing, got in the way. Check day. And the result of that move was checkmate, because it turned out that some of us only cost $68.50 apiece every 2 weeks to sedate. I hope we wake up before it's too late. Now, how much longer are we going to continue to sleep? Some of us actually think it's just sweet and figure we got over because we was able to juggle our food stamps and still be able to eat right. I could put $68.50 down in a Jeep, right? But wake up, brother. A wise man is a joy to his father, but a fool is a burden to his mother. And I got to first of all apply it to myself before I can preach it to another. And the man in D.C. can still be heard snickering before Obama. We tricked them so bad that they'll never stop tricking. And the Arabs get rich on us our own style fried chicken. The community still hasn't recovered yet from that licking. The result, a generation of living time bombs, active and ticking, while the rest dress their best to impress that church so others can admire their style. They sing in Jesus, gonna fix it after a while. Yeah, but he wearing a watch or a sundial. I mean, where was he at when our maternal ancestors were being defiled? The result of one of those rapes just might have been this Problem Child. We need to lift ourselves up by our own to do for ourselves today. Why is it that instead of to a higher power, it's upon each other we pray? If we continue this way, all of our tomorrows will be just like yesterday, and we'll still be unable to cope with today, and we'll still hold out for us that crushing on this PA, which makes every day of the week a day off, which is why we can no longer afford to still for the payoff. The payoff lasts the most 2 or 3 days, and then we have nothing left, only to find out that the payoff is spiritual and emotional death. Are you part of the problem, or are you part of the solution? We don't need guns for a philosophic revolution. We need a resolution to unite and fight our plight and confusion. Why are so many of our women subjecting themselves to prostitution, both them and our men are doing too much substance abusing? Now, how are you going to be ready to fight if you've been partying all night? When the revolution comes, are you going to be of any use? When we pass you that rifle, I don't want to hear any excuse. When we pass you that rifle, you better be ready to shoot. And I'm not talking about backers or blingers or dice. I'm talking about hitting the bullseye for some civil and human rights in these days of double-digit inflation, covert racism, whodunit terrorism, attrition, downsizing, and layoffs. How can we afford to be content with a payoff? Black people, I'm not trying to put us down. I'm just trying to turn us around. The only person who smiles all the time is a clown. And life is no circus. Despite their attempts to short circuit our movement and keep us away from anything resembling improvement. What I'm trying to do, people, is to get us to open our eyes and no longer be blind, because of things like that welfare, that's keeping us behind. Last one. Kaleidoscope images of the initial skirmishes of the Third World War in my mind's eye. A full moon illuminates the playing field as fighter jets get set to take to the sky. High-tech technology and technicolor as lasers, missiles, and rocket shots stack, crackle, and pop right before our eyes. The revolution will rise. Well, this one won't need to be, because we will hold these truths to be self-evident. Evident from cities, especially New York, as we look straight up, heads tilted slightly to the northwest in distress as enemy fighter jets outnumber American F-16, 6-1, rotating and spiraling in tight formations for bombing runs. But this isn't a video game. It's war. It'll be evident from the farms in the mid-American states as missile silos mysteriously appear in cornfields, awaiting orders from Washington as we contemplate whether or not to escalate, because finally it's time to put up or shut up, which is what happens when you push up on the weak long enough. Are the sins and the falls of violence to be paid for by the sons? And for the black man in America, there's no place to run, as we're reduced to ignorant bystander status as crimes for reparations, the awaited thoughts of self-preservation, and early evening cookouts turn into blackouts, so our homes could be protected. An attack on our homeland was initially projected, but the calculator used to measure karma must have been permanently defective. And finally, all the varying ideologies of the world align on the same page as they all proclaim. We ready to die for this! The first series of incoming salvos just barely missed amidst frenzied and frenetic fighting, and the price of each rocket launch could feed an African village or renovate the projects. But instead of humanitarianism, we choose to build rockets, and there's no way to know how much dough is going into politicians' pockets. And I wrote this poem because of a dream I had last night. One that warns Americans that in spite of its illusions of might, we can't afford to underestimate the strength, will, or resolve of another country in a fight when they think they're right. And as guns begin unloading and bombs begin exploding, a man's voice comes on the radio and he says, "This is not a test. This is not a test. I repeat, this is boo." And the black man will still be among the least of this country's problems, because we watch TV control the way we think, and we pray to the same Jesus as his beast as he does. Except we're better at it. And we join the same political parties he does, depending upon the size of the crumb he's pushed off his table for us. Or we're totally disenfranchised altogether, not only home, right to vote, or guns. And we listen to ridiculous rap lyrics that have us do all we can do to bling bling, be seen but not heard, and politically definitely not felt. Or we write poetry in an underground society that allows us to be heard but not seen. And sometimes I think the only ones that are feeling us are us. And we play sports which allow us to be seen but not heard, and politically not felt. By the way, whatever happened to sports as a means to an education? Refer to rap lyric number 11205-463A. Cash rules everything around me. And these days, even the Nation of Islam is seldom seen and never heard, and politically not felt. By the way, Brother Minister, I was talking to Malcolm the other day, and he told me to say to you that he'll see you soon. And I hope that when you get there, he punch you in your face, sell out. And the rest of us do our best to pretend that we're not even black. Now I'm going to pause while you contemplate that. Did I leave anyone out? Good. There's got to be a movement for us to join somewhere, and Since when is war bad for this nation's economy? And whatever happened to the prophet of the national audience who wrote the poem, what was his name? Problem Child. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first workout I've had. I've been retired since 2008. A little bit choppy, but May 4th at the Schoenberg against some joker. I'm going to bring it. Peace, cocktails.
My man.